Citizens Arena. The Gonzaga Bulldogs 28-2 overall. They have been an overwhelming favorite to win not just the regular season, but this tournament championship as well. Winners of 5 straight. That said, Kristen, this Portland team put quite a scare into Gonzaga early in conference play.
They caught their attention very early. In that first opening game in the WCC play at Spokane, up 20 in that game. They could not hold on, but they showed that they can compete if they can take care of the ball and shoot the ball well. Gonzaga does not beat themselves. They executed a high level, very balanced team offensively. They're ready for this one.
We can't wait for the overall matchup.
Portland was up 20 in the first half. Didn't get it done in the fourth quarter because of Gonzaga's defense. Gonzaga, second in the nation in points allowed per game at 51. It was Portland's inability to score late in that game that cost them the game. Yet, the Pilots, through the end of the regular season, the top scoring offense in the league. So that matchup of best O versus best D will be fun to watch.
Thank you, Jerem. Now for our starting lineups, brought to you by University Credit Union. Visit ucu.org. seconds on the shot clock. Portland pressure. They pick it up. The head coach of the Bulldogs. 3 to start. That ball knocked out of bounds, and they will inbound from the baseline right.
Substitution for the Pilots for Kenny Crowley. For Gonzaga, number 5, Louise Forsythe, Haley Truck, and 33, Melanie Compton. Gonzaga foul number 11, Haley Truck. That's her second personal, first team foul. Places Haley Truck.
This season, success and more than won't be uncommon to see.
West Coast Conference Tournament basketball brought to you by University Credit Union, inviting West Coast Conference alumni and fans to bank with your brain and open an account today. Visit us at ucu.org. Nike, proud partner of the West Coast Conference. And by Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering Ricoh digital copiers and IT solutions to the Bay Area for over 19 years. Live from the Orleans Arena, 11th ranked Gonzaga, regular season champions of the West Coast Conference, lead Portland 37-24 in the first of two women's semifinals. Lisa Fortier has done a magnificent job, to say the least, up in Spokane, and she has done so going through some serious adversity even here last year at the tournament. Jerem Jordan has more on that.
1 year ago, tragedy struck the Gonzaga program and the Fortier family. Head coach Lisa Fortier was informed by athletic director Mike Roth of a medical emergency regarding complications with her brother Hayden, who had muscular dystrophy, in the fourth quarter of the West Coast Conference Tournament title game against BYU. Fortier left the game immediately while her husband Craig stayed to coach the rest of the game. Lisa's brother Hayden passed away the next day. It's certainly an emotional experience coming into this gym and playing 1 year later.
No doubt about it. Fortier and her Bulldogs back on the hunt for another WCC championship.
And they also had that adversity on the court as well. In the semifinal game, Jill Townsend and Laura Stockton both went down with season-ending injuries. Stockton tore her ACL, and among other things, and Townsend went down with a severe leg injury. As you take a look at Craig Fortier, who's coached alongside his wife, I asked her, I said, how is it having Craig on the bench with you? Is he sleeping on the couch at all at nighttime after maybe a rough game where you kind of get into it? And she said, no, it's been so reassuring to have him, knowing he's always in my corner.
That is a wonderful staff, to say the least. Just a prime coaching job and consistency that they bring to West Coast Conference basketball. We're trying to hold off a streaking Portland team here. It was a 29-9 game. Now, since that point, Portland has gone on a 17-8 run to get themselves back in this contest.
Impressed with how Portland is shooting the ball. They're forcing turnovers, getting some stops, have to continue to be tough on the defensive end, but they're shooting 55% in this quarter.
How good are the Gonzaga bigs on the baseline? When you give them space, and they have really made the Pilots pay. The latest from Kempton, she scores her first 2 points.
They work really well behind the zone, so it's going to stretch the defense. You have to worry about them, and then also the flash at the high post.
Andrews, entry pass to Walker, playing with 3 fouls, working on Kempton. And they'll get the foul on Kempton, bodying up Walker in the paint.
You see the reach in right here. Kempton a little bit out of position, so Worth is going to reach in and get this foul tangled up in the arms of Walker.
So correction, yeah, that will not be on Townsend. It'll go on Worth. That's her second personal. 4th team foul by Gonzaga in the quarter. One more, and Portland will shoot 2 free throws for the remainder of the half.
Gonzaga has a lot of depth, and they're fairly healthy. Other than that injury to their senior guard, Katie Campbell, that experienced at the beginning of February, very healthy. How about the move from Anderson, the senior, with the up and under, working in the post?
And Anderson right back to work defensively on Loetta. It's an 11-point game once again. 2 minutes to play before halftime. Kaylin Trong. Now to Loetta. Switch on the pick out top. Alex Fowler hedging there, and another steal. Anderson, numbers 3 on 2. She'll step through, tripped up, and a foul.
Gonzaga fans don't like the call with the foul inside. Anderson looking to push in transition. She does a good job of anticipating. Watch the anticipation to get over there and take that ball away after her teammates up top double team. And then smart enough to not run over Trong, but try to use the up and under drawing contact. Anderson with just 2 points so far, but she's a workhorse for Coach Meek. Make that 3 points now.
They gave that foul to Jessie Loetta. And she was trailing the play. I mean, she came in really late. So that's part of the reason Gonzaga fans are upset about this. The contact was with Trong. Yet, here we are. Anderson makes both free throws after the foul is charged to Loetta. It's 39-30. Townsend nearly lost it there. Jenworth able to collect.
This extended pressure, Spencer, has caused havoc for Gonzaga, and that's the biggest reason why Portland's getting back into this.
Offensive rebound by Townsend. Her putback no good. Kempton down to the floor. She can't secure it. Kate Anderson in trouble. Bounces on the baseline. Saves it. Somehow, Gonzaga fans wanted an out-of-bounds call. And Portland just grateful to have it across midcourt at this point. 15 seconds on the shot clock. The Pilots are on a 10-2 run, and that's a foul on Kaylin Trong. Portland in the bonus. Haley Andrews will go to the charity stripe.
This quarter alone, Portland has turned up their intensity, their confidence, and they are scrappy. Getting after loose balls. I feel like they have the edge on the 50-50 balls and winning those loose balls bouncing around. They're just all-out effort right now, and that's why they've closed this to a 9-point game.
Andrews had a superlative performance to join Alex Fowler on Saturday. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and she drops in both free throws. This is a 7-point game. If you're just joining us, Gonzaga got off to a incredible start. 12 of 13 from the field. They led 29-9 in the first quarter. That lead is down to 7. Loetta's floater in the lane. No good. Offensive rebound by Jenworth. Jill Townsend fires up a 3. That's no good. Rebound inside. Kelly Frawley. And Frawley will take it across midcourt.
Frawley comes away with that, but credit to Andrews on a major box out so her teammate could pick up that board. The big 3 for Portland have come to play. Anderson, Andrews, and Fowler, those 3 have carried this team all season.
Gorsman, open 3. Good! J.C. Gorsman, it's a 4-point game. And Gorsman causing some havoc at midcourt. Called for the reach-in foul.
Gorsman frustrated, wanted the travel, but let's take a look a moment ago at Gorsman up top, knocking down a huge 3-point shot. She's 2 for 2 from distance in this game. 10 points to join Fowler in double figures.
Portland on a 15-2 run over the last 5 minutes of game time. There's 10 seconds left in the half. 39-35 Gonzaga with the ball and the lead. Deflected out of bounds, Haley Andrews. And how about the Portland defense, Kristen? They have flipped the script. Michael Meek said, "I believe in you guys." They bought into the speech.
Well, and when they're aggressive and they're extending their defensive pressure, they're at their best. And that's where they're confident and they're not standing back on their heels. 5,
now 4. Townsend with the ball with 2. Pull-up jumper, no good. And that's how the first half will end. A story of 2 entirely different quarters. Gonzaga seemingly could not miss to begin the game. Built a 20-point lead, ironically enough, against a team that had a 20-point lead on them early in the game. It is now a 4-point game. Jerem Jordan is with Gonzaga head coach Lisa Fortier.
Hi, Coach. 29 points in that first quarter, 10 in the second. What was different?
I think we were forgetting that we needed to play defense as well. I don't know what happened with the offense, but the problem was the defense.
What else will be your message to your team at halftime?
Just that we're not rebounding, we're not executing. We can't be just good front runners. You have to play when it's not going your way as well. You have to do the little things at that time and not just rely on making shots. You're not going to make those kind of shots all game long.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thanks.
Lisa Fortier, understandably annoyed with how that second quarter went. Into the locker room. We are locked into a battle. 1 versus 4. The winner moves to the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game. Portland fighting back into it.
Back in Las Vegas, it is semifinal Monday, and we are at halftime of game 1 of our doubleheader. And the top seed Bulldogs of Gonzaga hanging on, leading 39-35. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler at the tournament update desk here at the Orleans Arena. Big surprise, Zags up 20, looking like they're the top seed in the tournament, coming in taking care of business. But we've got some fight here, and now we've got a ball game.
Well, this is a rematch of a rematch, and in the regular season, you remember there was a game where Portland was up big, and the Zags came roaring back and ended up winning that one. And in this one, Gonzaga started out so confident and just knocking down shots and moving the basketball. They had 11 assists on 18 made field goals in that first half. And at one point, it was like 11 assists on 14 made field goals. Things fell apart a little bit, but early, it was all about Gonzaga.
Here are the Ticket Smarter first half highlights, courtesy of Ticketsmarter.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the WCC. Zags built a 29-9 lead.
And look at the ball moving, all these. The Loetta threes knocking at that time, getting it around the horn. Inside out play was fantastic. As you see, Leanne Worth knocking it down inside. The Gonzaga bigs were really good from the baseline and from that corner. Jen Worth knocking one down from the elbow of the key. The bigs getting it done, and the ball was moving so well, especially early for Gonzaga.
Worth leading the way with 14 points. But back come the Pilots and the freshman of the year, the newcomer of the year, Alex Fowler. She's had a great tournament. She's leading the way.
And she, remember, in the first two meetings between these two, she had 8 points in each game. Well, she's already got 10 in the first half. She looked active defensively. She was taking the ball to the hole on the offensive end. And really, this was a tale of two quarters. And in the end, the game's almost even. And as you look at the stats, you see that 57% for the Pilots, 56% from the field
Lisa
for the
Fournier
Zags.
is not going to be happy about not shooting a free throw. I imagine that was her message to the officials.
Well, and remember, there was a point in this game when it was 7-0 turnovers. The Pilots had 7, the Zags had 0. They were way up in the game.
Yeah.
And then down the stretch, the Zags turned it over 4 times. And that is how Portland got some energy back. They played defense. They extended that defense. With those steals, they got some runouts, which kind of got them off their heels and got them going. And then the Zags were on their heels a little bit in that second quarter. So here we are at halftime, and it really was quarter one, nothing but Gonzaga. Quarter two, nothing but Portland, and we've got a great basketball game.
Still lots to play. However, as we've learned, the best way to upset a big-time opponent, keep it close and give yourself a shot at the end. Back with more in a moment. Gonzaga is up to number 11 in the new AP Top 25. They're in a dogfight here in Game 1 of our semifinals, 39-35 here at the break. Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler from the tournament update desk. We're just getting started. Game 2 coming up, and then later tonight, it is the semifinals for the men. All eyes on number 2, Gonzaga, number 15, now number 14, BYU. Let's take a look at the women's bracket. The championship game tomorrow on ESPNU. That will send the winner to the NCAA tournament with the automatic bid.
And 3 of the 4 top seeds advance. This is what we expected here at Portland and Gonzaga, San Diego, and then Pepperdine coming from that 6th seed with the upset of BYU, doing a great job and playing well yesterday. Really a great rally in the second half. And so that's going to be a fun matchup coming up right after this one.
A couple of keys to this second half. We know that Gonzaga is going to respond. So let's start with Portland and their key to keep it close in the third.
Well, the Portland got back in this thing by extending their defense and playing really aggressively on the defensive end. They created some turnovers in that second quarter. They got out and got some easy buckets in transition. They need to keep pressuring, and then they need to play calm offensively. They were too fast in their heads. The moment was a little big for them to start, and they turned it over 5 times in the first quarter. Took care of it better in the second. So they've got to pressure and take care of the ball.
Now the Zags, they just come out and do what they do?
Well, the Zags, to handle pressure, you got to attack it. They've got to successfully beat that press in the backcourt. But when they get into the front court, settle in and go attack that pressure, get it to your bigs where you have an advantage, and shoot a high percentage like you did. They need to take care of the ball, too. For both teams, take care of the basketball.
39-35, Gonzaga with the lead. Spencer, Kristen, and Jerem have the second half. We'll see you after the game.
West Coast Conference semifinal Monday, halftime at the Orleans Arena. Gonzaga, regular season champions, 17-1 in the WCC. They lead the 4-seed Portland Pilots by 4. Speaking of the Pilots, let's hear from Michael Meek, the head man in charge of the turnaround on the Bluff.
Okay, Coach, you were down 20, just 4 at the half now after the 15-2 run the last 5. What was the key to that run?
Well, I just think we became more aggressive in that. Obviously, they shot an unbelievable percentage the first quarter, so we know some of that was going to change just naturally. But I'm really proud of the way we've continued to fight. We've done this all season long, and now we got 20 more minutes.
What else did you talk about at the half?
Oh, I just think more than anything is we just got to keep up the fight and keep being aggressive and keep staying together. And I think this group's done such a great job of playing through adversity all season. We got to keep that up.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
There is Alex Fowler, and we just heard from Michael Meek. Kristen, he said he believed in this team. Now, it's one thing to say it and then watch his team take that message and really execute it on the floor. So, from your perspective, what happened to allow Portland to get back in this game after trailing 29-9?
He's instilled that belief in this team to be confident, to play with confidence, and they do that with their defense and upping the intensity in the second quarter. The pressure, the extended pressure, they were in full court man, dropping back into that matchup zone. They did a great job defensively. They have to take care of the ball a little bit better here in the second half.
That takes us to a recap of our impact performers. Our key matchup today presented by Nike. Alex Fowler, 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting. Jill Townsend, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. She, like every other Gonzaga player, got off to a red-hot start in the first quarter. Gonzaga made 12 of their first 13 shots, but they have been outscored 15-2 over the last 5 minutes of game time. And here we are in a battle at half.
These are two players that get a lot of touches in their offensive set. They have to for them to be successful because they move the ball well and they draw so much attention defensively.
Final words from each of these benches and their coaches before we begin half number 2. There you see the numbers. I was shorting Gonzaga when they were 13 of 14 to start. Portland just 3 of 8, but then the Pilots flipped the script. It was a wildly entertaining first 2 quarters just based on how different the quarters played out.
Well, and both teams shooting lights out. Gonzaga 56% for the half, Portland 57% for the half. And I felt like Gonzaga had better looks, wide open shots, but Portland was knocking it down with a hand in their face. They had to really battle more to be able to get shots up.
Portland basketball to begin, and the Pilots can climb even closer. Alex Fowler holding left elbow. Has Anderson left open from 17 feet, and that jumper is down. Claps her hands in approval. It's a 2-point game.
It's a good read on the defense because they were helping on the screen. She had enough space, so knocking it down.
Look at Maddie Boltheim give Loetta all types of problems trying to bring the ball up the floor.
It's that extended pressure that has got them back into this game, a 2-point game.
Trong as Leanne Worth flashing high post, left elbow. Worth will drive to the right. She's cut off by Walker, again with the 3 fouls. Loetta with 2-on-1 on the shot clock, had to force up a layup at the rim, no good. Portland defense with the advantage once again. The Pilots can tie or take the lead. Bounce to Fowler through a double team, and there is the 8th turnover of the game by Portland, but it's given right back by Gonzaga.
You can't relax at all in this game. Possession so valuable, taking care of the ball, securing the ball on the pass. Great reach in by Trong, but even better by Portland to stay alert and get it back.
Walker to tie, in and out, rebounded by Townsend. Townsend to her right, to Trong, crossover dribble into the lane, she's tripped up and fouled. First team foul on Portland here in the third quarter.
Portland loves this little back pick. You see on the opposite elbow, Trong having to help. They're worried about that pass going into Andrews off the screen, and Anderson enough space to get a shot off. She's a fantastic shooter. Took what the defense gave her.
Haley Andrews picks up her 2nd personal foul. Trong to Jenworth, who has 14 points, looking for a few more. Jumper short, battle for the rebound. Walker, Fowler in there. Townsend is swatted at and hacked. She'll go to the free throw line. What a battle we have going.
Offensive boards, those second chance opportunities. Gonzaga with the size advantage in this one. And as we saw right there, Fowler having to really battle the size of the 2 Worth sisters at 6'3".
2-point Gonzaga lead. Jill Townsend will go to the free throw line. They're going to take a closer look at this to make sure that there was nothing more than just a common foul. While we have a moment, let's hear from Jerem Jordan.
The West Coast Conference Player of the Year is Jill Townsend of Gonzaga, guys. That's despite not being top 10 in scoring or rebounding, but she's one of the best players, well, the best player in the league this year. She called it a pretty cool honor. This coming off a broken femur in overtime last season in the West Coast Conference semifinal win against St. Mary's. She was in the training room when Zykira Rice made the game winner in the last few seconds and didn't end up playing, of course, in the West Coast Conference title game or in the NCAA tournament. She recovered in 4.5 months in time to go on the international trip to the Mediterranean. And during that time, she had a full summer course load and rehab, and she has made it back, and she had a spectacular season.
An incredible comeback effort by Jill Townsend. She took a shot across the bridge of her nose right there from Anderson.
Well, she broke her nose earlier in the season against BYU, had to wear a face mask, came right back into that game. She is a tough competitor, one of the toughest players in the conference. It didn't look like anything malicious on Anderson's part. Anderson should have just kept those hands straight up, but she chose to try to slap down at the ball, caught her in the face.
The officials still conversing at the scores table. And Gonzaga came back out onto the floor. They're being asked to go back to their bench while they try and sort this out. I don't know. Again, it was an aggressive play. Anderson did swat down. I don't think that there was, it's just a hard foul.
Well,
it's a hard foul.
Still looking at time to make sure they get the time correct, and just a lot of factors that go into what they're reviewing over there. They may not be reviewing the exact play every time, but right here it looks like they are definitely talking over the foul by Anderson.
8:25 to play in the third quarter. If you are just joining us, to recap what has happened, Gonzaga made 13 of their first 14 shots. They built a 29-9 lead on Portland. And then the second quarter happened, and the Pilots cut the lead to 4. So here we have the explanation coming. Kristen's receiving that right now.
And they're going to just give Anderson a common foul.
It will be a common foul after all of that review. Jill Townsend will have 2 free throws to try and extend this 2-point lead. These are the first free throws attempted by the Zags, and it is in and out from Townsend.
Anderson just trying to make a play on the ball. I think emotions are high, and the officials really need to review and make sure there was nothing ill intent or malicious. Make sure she's making a play on the ball, which she was.
1 of 2 for Townsend, 40-37. Fowler throws it into the backcourt. Townsend can track it down if she wants to. She'll let it go out of bounds, and it'll be Gonzaga possession on the sideline.
That's what extended trap, extended pressure can do when they've got Fowler, who's a decent ball handler, but at 6'1", she's more of a post player. Got to have your guards up there handling the ball. Cannot afford mistakes like that. Gonzaga very good at executing off of those mistakes.
Townsend 25 feet away, straight away, has Loretta now on the wing. Nothing there for Leanne Worth, so she goes back to Trong. Trong will dribble from the point to her left. Townsend on the left wing, driving hard to the hoop, and a foul. How about that play from the West Coast Conference Player of the Year?
The ability to take over a game because of her strength and her ability to create her shot off the dribble. Help side's there, but out of position is Walker. And just taking it strong to the glass. This is what Gonzaga needs more of because they're fantastic shooting the ball. But if you can get the defense to collapse, they're going to get more opportunities with the draw and kick or scoring at the rim.
Townsend unable to complete the three-point play, missed another free throw. She's just 1 for 3. She's taken all 3 free throw attempts for Gonzaga in the game. Lauren Walker on the Portland side on the bench with 4 fouls. And we'll see how long Michael Meek can play without her.
She provides a lot of depth and size in there at 6'5". Did you see an aggressive drive from Anderson?
Anderson going right back at Townsend, and with the body scores an and 1.
I love the way Anderson plays. She's undersized, but she can go inside with the best of them and just muscle her way in there against Townsend. Watch Townsend. Let's see if she beats her. Her feet kind of got hung up, and I think that's where the foul came.
Second foul on Townsend. Now Townsend's complaining because she said that Anderson dipped her shoulder into her. And at that point, it can be an offensive foul, but it goes Portland's way. Anderson makes the free throw. Trong asking for a foul with Bolheim harassing, and now the whistle will come on the opposite side of the floor. 42-40.
And the opposite side official getting an earful from Lisa Fortier on the contact. Molheim is just a pesky defender on Trong and gets her hands on balls and does a good job staying in front, that time picking up the foul.
More foul trouble for Portland. Molheim with her third personal will check out, joining Walker with the 4 on the bench. Still a long time to play here in the second half. 7:17 to play in the third quarter.
It's that balance of pressure, but not fouling, because you don't want to put them on the line and you don't want to have players take away the depth on the bench.
Forsythe for 3, no good. Opposite side rebound attempt. It is ruled off of Jen Worth. Now the facial expression from Haley Andrews coming out of that was eyebrows in the air like, oh, okay, I guess it's our basketball.
Andrews has done a nice job boxing out some of these taller players. She's 5'9", sophomore, handles the point duties for Portland. She's fantastic, leads the conference in assists per game.
Anderson to try and tie, cannot do it. Portland is playing almost all the way back. They've had a few opportunities to tie or take the lead and have come up empty in those tries. Jen Worth, high-low, great pass inside to Kempton, who turns and scores off the glass. It's back to a 4-point Gonzaga advantage.
Ball movement allowing Kempton to steal. When that ball went up top, she's continuing to work down low, establish ground.
Andrews driving on Townsend, cut off on the baseline, short corner left, back to Fowler. Fowler into the paint against Kempton. Step through, forced up a shot, no good. Anderson flies in, hits Kempton in the back. And the Gonzaga heavy crowd, their frustrations mount with the officiating. Loetta to the hoop, and she will have 2 free throws.
Well, both teams get more aggressive off the dribble and inside, trying to get interior passes, and you see Andrews just unmatched by Kempton at 6'1". They are so good with the high-low, known for their high-low, the ball reversal, ball movement, but continuing to seal underneath. It takes both of those players working hard to make that happen.
Already 5 team fouls committed by Portland in the third quarter. It took all of 4 minutes, so every foul from here on out whistled on the Pilots will give Gonzaga 2 free throws. Loetta for the first of a pair, and that's perfect. Michael Meek and Portland have clawed their way back. Loetta misses the second free throw, but an offensive rebound by Kempton. Forsythe will give it back to Loetta, and the Zags will have another offensive possession.
Gonzaga with 6 offensive boards, 5 second chance points.
Townsend with 5 for offensive foul, and that's number 3 on Townsend. So the first real foul trouble on the Gonzaga side.
Andrews moving her feet. Watch her as she cuts her off, tries to beat her to the spot, and part of this is selling it with the fall. You got to fall. If you're going to take a charge, you have to be able to hit the deck.
Now what's interesting is this is almost the same exact call that went against Townsend when Anderson was driving to the hoop. So I can understand the frustration on Lisa Fortier and Jill Townsend's part. 45-40, Andrews, Trong in her face. Anderson, open 3. Good. Kate Anderson, the senior, has showed up to play. She's got 14 points.
Nice draw and kick to the outside. Anderson, 6 points at the half. And she's exploded for 8 here. Watch Frawley, the freshman, beating the trap and then getting all the way into the paint off the dribble. That's what set up that wide open shot for Anderson. Being ready to shoot. The lone senior on this Portland team who has completely turned around the culture in just a short time for the Pilots.
A foul called after that 3-point make. Jen Worth, the benefactor, makes her first free throw. She's got a game-high 15 points now. While you watch West Coast Conference action, join the conversation using hashtag WCC Hoops. And for the latest news, scores, and more, follow WCC Hoops on Twitter. After that missed free throw from Worth, chase down for the ball. And Kristen, what'd you see there?
We got a foul from Trong as Gorsman was chasing the ball on the offensive board. Something we have seen them do very well is getting those balls that are 50-50 balls, the extra effort on the glass, or defensively getting tips on steals.
Frawley to Gorsman to tie. Back rim no good. Offensive rebound. Put back no good. And the rebound collected by Kempton. Trong across midcourt.
Pilots got the look they wanted. They got a wide open shot from Borsman, who was a great three-point shooter, and then another look from Frawley.
Here is Lynn Trong, and she traveled. We'll take a timeout with 4:50 to play in the third quarter. 11th ranked Gonzaga with a 3-point lead on Portland, 46-43. Don't go anywhere. West Coast Conference Tournament basketball brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Ticketsmarter.com, the official resale ticket marketplace of the WCC. And by Reveal Suits, the official business apparel partner of the West Coast Conference, where passion meets fashion. Visit www.revealsuits.com. Gonzaga with a 46-43 lead on Portland. Very entertaining first semifinal of 2 on the women's side here today. Let's go to Jerem Jordan, talk about some of this adversity that Gonzaga has pushed through en route to this 11th ranking.
Specifically, Katie Campbell, her journey to and at Gonzaga has been one with multiple curveballs. February 1st, she tore her ACL. She's been one of the leaders on this team, a feisty defender, an excellent three-point shooter at 43%. She said, "I've never been injured before, so it's been sad. It's hard to just sit there and watch." She's finishing a nursing degree. She wants to be a sports psychologist. And also during her senior year of high school in Westlake, California, she became pregnant. She actually scored 23 points in a state tournament game pregnant. Her daughter Ava was born in the fall of 2016. She was originally committed to play at Washington State. She dipped out of that commitment to focus on Ava. Ava's now 3, and Katie's at Gonzaga, and it was a tremendous career, but unfortunately one that ended February 1st.
Katie Campbell, the spark, was such an energy boost for Lisa Fortier's team, and me like many others thought, what's Gonzaga going to be now that they lose that burst of energy?
Well, as we saw, they faced that adversity last year, but Katie Campbell, one of 3 seniors on this team. When you lose a senior like that, and probably the biggest reason they lost that St. Mary's game, when they had that hiccup and they lost to St. Mary's, they turned around after that loss of Katie Campbell against BYU. They have a great game against Pacific. They were energized and thought, okay, let's come together. But then against St. Mary's, where things were not going their way, trying to figure things out, without senior leadership, it really hurts you. And Katie Campbell, fantastic career at Gonzaga, really a big part of their success this season.
That pressure from Portland causing problems. Gorsman just picks it right from Lee Trong. And the Pilots can cut into the 3-point lead once again. They have been to this point a few times, Kristen, but they have not climbed all the way back up the mountain. Andrews, reverse layup, good, it's down to 1.
I love the fight in this Portland team. Defensively, they're getting it done. Gorsman and Molheim, 2 players that are more role players on this team defensively, have been outstanding.
And an offensive foul called on Kempton. More on that in a moment. Here's the steal from Gorsman.
And you see just keeping her hands active, staying in front, not letting her just blow by, getting a tip on the ball and securing it. And then Andrews, their leading point guard. She loves that shot, being able to shadow herself so she doesn't get blocked on the reverse.
Gonzaga with 4 turnovers in the last 2 minutes, 22 seconds. They have 9 on the game. Portland with 10. It was Portland with 5 early when Gonzaga had none, and that's how the Bulldogs really pushed it open to that 20-point lead.
This is the Portland team that went up 20 on Gonzaga in Spokane and playing in a similar fashion right now by defensively pressure, forcing turnovers, and then being confident when they take shots.
Gorsman to Fowler, open jumper, short, rebound by Fowler, flips it to Gorsman, block shot by Leanne Worth. Fowler has it again, she'll go back to Andrews, cycle to Kate Anderson. Back to Fowler from 12 feet, good! And the Pilots have taken their first lead of the game, 47-46.
They trailed 20 in that first half at one point. Fowler wasn't gonna miss that second jumper. Put a little bit more on it to get it up and over the rim.
Fowler now with 12 points. She's 5 of 9 from the field. Incredible. Portland has erased a 20-point deficit. They now lead by 1, and Kate Anderson's going to be whistled for a cheap foul. Michael Meek looks right at her and says, why? Why? Because Gonzaga's in the bonus. They've been in the bonus since the 6-minute mark of the third quarter.
The hustle on the offensive glass, giving them a second chance, an extra opportunity to move the ball, work their defense, and getting that middle of the zone catch, attacking the middle of the zone.
Loetta ties the game back up at 47.
We talked about the balance of fouling, but wanting to bring pressure if you're Portland. They have to be smart with that. I like the game plan with the pressure, but continue to be smart, not reach in and get cheap fouls.
2 free throws for Loetta. Gonzaga takes the lead right back by 1. Fowler. Anderson open for 3. That's short front rim. Another offensive rebound for Fowler. 3 is on the way from Frawley. That's long. Fowler with yet another offensive rebound. Back out to the point, and Haley Andrews.
Working on the glass, keeping those extra opportunities. 7 offensive boards now. They've outdone Gonzaga by 1 in that category. Oh my goodness!
Good pass inside from Anderson to Fowler for the layup.
Beautiful pass, feeding it right to Fowler. Fowler now leading this team. She's got 14 points.
The Pilots back in front by 1. Kempton, no good. She gets an offensive rebound and is fouled on the putback. 2 more free throws for the Zags. Watch this pass from Anderson.
My goodness, there's that look, that high post look again. And their immediate look is high-low, right there to Fowler, because Fowler's so good at stealing and moving without the ball. But she's got great hands. So impressed with her hands as a freshman. Doesn't play like a freshman.
Kempton, short. And the sophomore forward from Post Falls, Idaho will have 1 more to tie it at 49. And she does. Gets the bounce. 1:45 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Kempton really gives this team some good depth in the post off the bench. She can come in and carry the load, just as good as those Ward twins. Now, when the Ward twins are in, a little bit better scores, but I like the way defensively Kempton plays.
Molheim back in with 3 fouls for Portland. Here's Andrews. Frawley to Anderson. Anderson will take it back from Molheim with 9 on the shot clock. Andrews, skip pass, Molheim open 3. Off the rim. Rebounded by Leanne Worth. And a steal by Anderson. She saves it in bounds. No, they're going to say that her foot hit the ground before it came back in. I don't know, Kristen.
I thought she had it, but again, we can't see the line right in front of us as she saved that ball right in front of us. The anticipation, watch, she's going to rotate over. Oh, she
that's
got it.
Not close.
Not a good call.
So Gonzaga catches a break. And the ball is stolen by Fowler. Another turnover, Anderson ahead. Jen Worth challenging. The layup is off the glass and good. Kate Anderson with 16 points, a game high.
Still coming from Fowler, being aggressive. I love that they don't hang their head. They didn't get the call. We saw that. It wasn't a good call. Continue to play with the aggression to come away with a steal.
Portland has attempted 12 more shots this quarter than Gonzaga. Worth, almost another steal. Townsend, big bucket driving from the baseline left.
Gonzaga has to get her touches. She just has poise about her. She's not panicked. She's calm. She gives them confidence by the way that she plays. She's got to get touches every possession.
Shot clock is off as we wind down the 3rd quarter at 15, tied at 51. Andrews has Fowler at the high post. She'll take a free throw line jumper. Back rim and down. What a bounce for Alex Fowler, who has 16 points. The Portland Pilots will take a lead into the 4th quarter in the semifinals of the West Coast Conference Tournament. Portland causing Gonzaga all sorts of trouble. The Zags now have 10 turnovers and a 2-point deficit. What a showdown we've had in semifinal number 1 on this Elimination Monday at the Orleans Arena. The Portland Pilots getting a significant push from their senior, Kate Anderson. 16 points. She had 8 in the third quarter, Kristen.
Well, she was fantastic, being aggressive, hitting shots when she was left open, taking what the defense gave her, along with teammate Fowler. Those two players combined for 16 points of Portland's 18 points in that third quarter. But don't take away from other players making plays on the draw and kick from Frawley. It was a team effort to be able to pull away to a win, or excuse me, to a 2-point lead going into the fourth. And they're riding some confidence right now, playing very well on the back of their senior and freshman.
2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals as well for Anderson. Portland basketball to begin the fourth quarter with the 2-point lead. Andrews picked up by Trong, bounces to Fowler, holding Fowler. Pilots trying to post up Andrews on Trong. That skip pass to Anderson, left corner, falling out of bounds, saves it into Frawley. Frawley, entry pass to Fowler. Good move, up and under, but she can't collect the layup. And Gonzaga with the rebound. Townsend has Trong. Trong dribbles to the left wing.
They gotta get Jen Worth involved. She only had 1 field goal in that third quarter. Finished the first half with 14 points. She has to be involved, as well as Townsend. Townsend is a player that is a spark for them with that ability to take over the game.
15 points for Townsend now, tied for a team high with Jen Worth. And we are tied at 53. Anderson, Frawley flashing at the right elbow. Townsend reaches inside, nearly steals it away, and they're going to call a 4th foul on Townsend.
That is number 4 for Jill Townsend. The 5'11 junior trying to help out and reach in is going to pick up her 4th. Take a look at the bucket from Townsend on the other end, though. Moving without the ball, coming to the ball and having that space. And right here, just pinching in to try to tie it up. Frawley did a good job of not just battling with her, but turning away from her.
Andrews, her layup in the lane against Loetta, rims off. So Townsend on the bench. Gonzaga with the basketball and an opportunity to take that lead back. Bad pass by Loetta. The 11th turnover of the game for the Zags. Flip to Kate Anderson, driving to the hoop. Flips it up in the reverse, no good. She'll shoot 2 free throws. Leanne Worth picks up her 3rd personal foul. 2nd team foul for the Zags early in the fourth quarter.
Anderson could have settled for that outside shot, but she didn't. She was aggressive, continued to attack, get to the rim, drawing the contact. Very valuable to put pressure on Gonzaga, who's already in foul trouble. You see right here with Townsend now has 4. Leanne Worth
She just picked up her 3rd.
And then the Trong sisters each with 2 apiece. A lot of pressure when you're changing your game plan because of foul trouble and having to go more to your bench.
Anderson drops in her 17th point of the game on the free throw. Let's check in with Jerem Jordan, who was in the Portland huddle.
Yeah, a lot of smiles, some intensity, trying to stay in the moment. Michael Meeks saying, let's stay aggressive. Defensively, a lot of pressure. They still want that. Focus on deflections and, of course, rebounding.
Thank you, Jerem. 55-53. Anderson makes both free throws. Portland in front. And a foul called on Frawley as she tries to run through the screen of Jen Worth.
And that is just the first on Frawley. Frawley being very aggressive. Freshman getting some big minutes. 6 foot. She'll come out and guard the perimeter. I love her quick feet, active hands, but too much contact as the screen was being set and she was trying to get through.
Inbounded to Loetta. Arroyo the dribble, and now dribble into the lane. Good hesitation, dribble drop. She can't finish the layup. Offensive rebound, Worth. Put back, no good. Ripped away by Frawley. But before she can secure it, a jump ball is called. Possession arrow with the Zags. Great effort from both teams.
Jen Worth just skying above everyone with that 6'3" frame, but Frawley outworking, grabbing the 2nd rebound, and then the tie-up. I mean, Portland has battled. They're undersized underneath. Walker's been in foul trouble. She's in the game right now with 4 fouls. Impressed with Frawley and Fowler, the 2 players from Australia, the 2 freshmen.
Boy, just uncharacteristic mistake after mistake from Gonzaga here in the last 2 quarters plus.
You do not
You don't see it.
They are not a team that beats themselves.
No, and
typically.
you said that to me before the game started. They just don't beat themselves.
They don't, but we are seeing some unforced errors that are very uncharacteristic of Lisa Fortier's team. And that's what she talked about at half with Jerem Jordan. She said, how do you play when the shots aren't going down and it's not going in your favor?
Michael Meek wants a timeout with a 2-point lead and 8:02 to play in the game. A spot in the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game on the line. Don't go anywhere. 8:02 to play in the fourth quarter. Portland leading 11th ranked Gonzaga, the top seed in the West Coast Conference, 55-53. That takes us to our updated WCC bracket. The winner of this game will advance to Tuesday's championship game on ESPNU. They await either the 2-seed San Diego or the first upset special of the tournament, Pepperdine, who knocked out BYU. Game 2 will happen approximately 30 minutes after the completion of game number 1. There are the Waves, who are playing with a fury like we've seen from Portland, just energized. And they look for their spot in the championship game. Haley Andrews, hesitation, moves through 2 defenders, and it is a 4-point Portland lead. That is a game high.
She is so good at splitting the defense and getting all the way into the paint off the dribble. 10 points for her. She joins a couple teammates now in double figures. Fowler has 16 and Anderson with 18.
Portland has had 10 fast breaks. They have turned 10 Gonzaga turnovers, 12 Gonzaga turnovers into 17 points. 2 layups missed at the rim, contested from Worth. And it'll be Portland basketball. I believe the ruling is Forsythe was out of bounds when she attempted to pick up the basketball, so it's given to the Pilots.
Oh, J.C. Gorsman, 6-foot junior in there, contesting each of those shots against 6'3" Worth sister in there and just battling. I love the fight that the Pilots have shown in this one. That's why they're in this game.
Gonzaga started the game 13 for 14 shooting. They have gone 9 for 30 since that point. Didn't have a turnover in that first incredible 7 minutes. Now they've had 12 since. Pilots lead by 4. Anderson left corner, drives baseline left, tried to flip it to Fowler, deflects off the leg of Kempton, and it'll stay with the Pilots. 15 seconds on the shot clock, 7:10 to play in the game.
When you give a team confidence, like we saw with Portland being able to shrink that 20-point lead that the Gonzaga Bulldogs held, you can ride that confidence. It puts momentum on your side. And Gonzaga's had to figure out their offense when shots aren't going down or they can't get the ball to go in the bucket on rebounds.
Anderson has Molheim near midcourt. So go and get the ball back. On Loetta, one-on-one, behind the back dribble. Anderson into a double team, pull-up jumper from 8 feet, rims off. Look at Gorsman sky in for a rebound and a jump ball. That'll earn the Pilots another possession.
Gorsman, a player that averages 14 minutes a game. She's played near 20 minutes in this one due to her effort on the boards and away from the ball, defending, just skying in there for that rebound to tie it up.
Anderson, rebounding baseline right. Reverse layup, Alex Fowler, the freshman, so good around the hoop. It is now a 6-point Pilots lead.
He has a beautiful touch around the rim. One of the best post finishers in the league. Hard to believe she's a freshman. Doesn't look like a freshman. She's strong, level-headed, and does not play like a freshman.
Hard to believe this is the first semifinal appearance for Portland in almost a decade. This team was nowhere near this type of game last year, and here they are leading Gonzaga by 4. Big, important putback by Jen Worth. She's been quiet offensively. Her first bucket in the second half. She's got 17 points. She had a free throw in the third quarter. Other than that, she's been very quiet.
6 boards, got to get it done on the boards. The good effort at going hard. And look at Fowler, the freshman. She's keeping her Portland alive. 59-55, 6:24 to go in the fourth. Don't leave us.
.6:24 to play, 59-55 Portland over Gonzaga, an upset brewing at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. A reminder, the award-winning WCC All Access show gives us An inside look at the West Coast Conference with insider access feature stories, highlights, and more. Don't miss new episodes of WCC All Access premiering each month. Visit WCCSports.com for upcoming airtimes in your area. Portland basketball out of the break. Jen Worth just scored her first bucket of the second half for the Zags. Maybe that'll get this Gonzaga offense going a little bit.
So she's doing it on the boards, and that is something they have the advantage on. They have to continue to rebound the ball, generate some offense off of the second chance opportunities around the rim.
Andrews, dribble alive on the left wing. Goes off the screen from Fowler into a double team. They'll flip it back to the freshman, and Alex Fowler has 20 points as a jumper goes down. 6-point Pilot advantage yet again.
Great patience from Andrews, the point guard, to get the defense to suck in just a little bit more, feeling like they have to help her on the drive, and gives Fowler enough space to get the jumper off.
Kempton, no good, but fouled. I believe Gorsman is the guilty party.
Well, they pull Walker out, and they try to identify where the mismatch is with Kempton and Gorsman in there. And Gorsman works hard in there, but Kempton so solid at posting up and gaining the territory.
The foul is not given to Gorsman. It is given to Kate Anderson.
Okay.
Melody Kempton to the free throw line. Let's check in with Jerem Jordan.
During that timeout, Lisa Fortier, Gonzaga head coach, a lot of the focus was on how to defend ball screens. They want Gonzaga to more aggressively get the hedger out there, and then she finished the huddle with act like it matters, guys. 5:54 to go in the semifinals.
The urgency is very real for the Zags. They're playing for one of the top seeds in the NCAA tournament. Won 5 straight, only lost twice all year.
Now they're going to make the NCAA tournament, but now exactly you're playing for a higher seed, and more importantly, a WCC tournament championship. They didn't win it last year. BYU upsetting them in the championship game.
Andrews, floater, long. Battle for the rebound.
Oh, if that's on Townsend, she's out. She just came back in the game. They're going to get her with an over-the-back call, and that is number 5. Literally just got on the court.
The West Coast Conference Player of the Year disqualified with her 5th foul. 5:15 to play in the 4th quarter. That is an absolutely brutal break for Gonzaga and Lisa Fortier.
And she's in disbelief. Fantastic game. One of the leaders on this team is a junior.
15 points, 5 rebounds, and a steal for Townsend.
And Coach Fortier upset, saying that was a 50-50 going straight up. Not happy with the call.
Anderson stripped, but it goes right to Haley Andrews, who scores the easy 2. 63-57, long pass, and Andrews is going to steal it. Takes it away from Trong with some contact.
That was a lofty pass, an easier ball to anticipate for Andrews to rotate over and pick it off.
Anderson defended by Lee Trong. Picks up her dribble. Trong strips it away for the moment, but Anderson finds Andrews. 10 on the shot clock. Loetta pressuring. Andrews with 5 and a steal by Loetta. Jessie Loetta centers the ball. Will now dribble to the right wing. Back to Trong. Skip pass. 3 on the way. Good! Lee Trong to Lin Trong. Big time 3. And that's a 3-point Portland lead. The Gonzaga fans on their feet collectively.
How about the first bucket of the game for the freshman? Spotting up in the corner, confidently knocking it down right in front of her bench.
Michael Meek wants a timeout to try and settle his team down a little bit.
This is a good timeout right here. Get the crowd to settle down, get his team refocused. Here's a look at that inbound play. Just a moment ago, we saw underneath Andrews in the right spot at the right time, but the freshman on the other end, massive 3-point shot in the corner.
All Jill Townsend could do is watch, but she absolutely loves the guts of the freshman to take that shot and confidently make it down. 63-60, 4:06 to play. Portland basketball with the 1-possession lead. A 20-point Gonzaga lead at 29-9. was erased primarily because the Portland defense figured things out, Kristen, and started to force a bunch of Gonzaga turnovers.
They're active in the passing lanes, and then offensively, so many weapons, but the big three getting it done with their defense. Fowler on the break to Kate Anderson, who's been so aggressive, fantastic here in this second half. She had 6 points at the half, 12 here in the second half. And we talked about she's the only senior on this team. She has never been a part of a winning season until this year, and she clearly is leaving everything she has out there on the court.
The Pilots have postseason dreams of their own. Anderson into the corner, flip back to Fowler quickly from Mulheim. Andrews, no, make that Frawley, and her pass is stolen in the air. Turnover by Portland, 13th of the game. That's equal to Gonzaga. The Bulldogs can cut it to 1 or tie with a 3. There's Leitron. She'll call for the screen from Worth. Splits the defense into some space. Layup just long. Offensive rebound. Worth. Put back. Good. Jen Worth with 19 points to lead the Zags.
Taking over the game. Her and her sister get the defensive stop on the other end by a great rotation underneath, and then finishing on that extra opportunity.
1 point game. Mulheim. Entry pass. Frawley can't control it. It's loose. Michael Meeks screaming for a foul. And the Zags quickly down to the other end of the floor. Loetta between the legs with Andrews on her. Now she splits the defense. Trong for 3 in the lead. No good, but a foul. 3 free throws coming for Lee Trong.
How about Gonzaga on the pick and roll? They're doing a nice job with that hard hedge at splitting it and getting into the paint off the dribble. You see offensive board in position and going up strong. They've been battling on the boards. Both sisters combined for 10 boards in this game, and Trong getting fouled. Got to close out under control. You cannot contact the shooter. You got to let him land.
4th foul on Kate Anderson. Trong ties the game at 63. A 6-0 run for the Zags. And Gonzaga has their first lead in nearly 10 minutes of game time. They led 48-47. It has been Portland's game since that point. The Bulldogs to make it an 8-0 run. The freshman calmly knocking down 3 free throws, 65-63. What does Portland have left in the tank in Gonzaga's home away from home?
Well, Portland cannot get rattled at this moment. It's loud in here. The atmosphere, the intensity has turned up. They got to be calm on their half-court set.
Fowler, good position inside. Worth, hands straight up. Shot altered. Gonzaga stop.
Gonzaga, the more poised team right now. They are not panicking. They're getting right into their offensive set.
Jen Worth. No good. And a foul called on Leanne Worth. Attempting the offensive rebound. That's her 4th personal.
Leanne, the better defender. Not as active offensively in this game. She's got 6 points. Her sister Jen with 19 to lead Gonzaga. But boy, they need that size in there. They need her to be careful, but be smart.
Andrews across midcourt. To protect the basketball, take it back out near midcourt. Frawley holding, looking, nothing there. So Andrews from the left elbow gets around the Gonzaga defensive Trong and scores. That ends an 8-0 Gonzaga run and ties it at 65.
They're so worried about Fowler on that cross screen that it drew 2 defenders. Smart play from Andrews.
Jump shot is missed by Trong from the left elbow. Contact there, put back, no good. And that's going to be number 5 on Leanne Worth. Worth on the back of Fowler and Frawley, and that is the 2nd Zags player out with 5 fouls.
And watch the foul right here, all over the arms, but she just gets away with that one, but not the second one, over the back Frawley's been outstanding in this game at positioning herself under there. 6-foot freshman. She's played 32 plus minutes. Doesn't have a point, but 6 boards, and drew the 5th foul on Leanne Worth.
So Worth will take her place on the bench, fouled out, along with the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, Jill Townsend, who fouled out with more than 5 minutes left in the game. That is the 15th foul on the Zags as well, putting Portland in the 2-shot bonus for the remainder of regulation. Portland has not missed a free throw, 9 for 9.
Andrews tried to walk to the line, but it definitely was Frawley, the one that drew the foul from Worth. On the season, at the free throw line, just 8 for 16 coming in. These are clutch.
50% free throw shooter, just knocks down the first of 2 huge free throws. And missed a second. Battle for the rebound, Jen Worth has it. 1 point, Portland leads 66-65. Lee Trong with possession. Defended by Gorsman. To Kempton, left elbow. Kempton, high-low entry to Jen Worth, turns, no good. Kempton knocks it out of bounds, trying to grab the rebound. Portland basketball.
They got the pass inside that they wanted to Worth, but Fowler stood her ground, kept her hands straight up, didn't bail out Worth on the shot. Gorsman to Frawley. Frawley will spin at midcourt and lose the basketball. Ahead to Loetta. Off the glass, and Gonzaga takes the lead. Timeout, Lisa Fortier. That was huge. Ball control, so important down the stretch. We're just over a minute here, and Frawley loses her footing. Trying to do too much with the ball. The turn, the trip, and Loetta with the finish to put her team up 1. 1:04 to go in this game. Every possession so crucial. Portland has done a nice job in the second half of taking care of the basketball. Up till that point, that was a big one. Gonzaga on a 10-3 run to take the 1-point lead they currently hold. Reminder that Jill Townsend, WCC Player of the Year, is out with 5 fouls, as is one of their forwards, Leanne Worth. Portland has Walker with 4 fouls. Kate Anderson also in foul trouble. 1:04 to go. It'll be Portland basketball coming out of the timeout after the Pilots turned it over at midcourt, and Loetta scored, for the time being, the go-ahead layup. It was Portland that led by 20 points in Spokane early in the conference season, only to watch that lead slip away and ultimately lose the game. Gonzaga led by 20 here in the third match of the season, 29-9, and they watched that lead slip away to a 6-point lead multiple occasions for Portland. But the experience and leadership of the Zags have now combined for a 10-3 run. They lead by 1. The Pilots will run Frawley, Gorsman, Andrews, Fowler, and Anderson back out on the floor as they look to pull off a stunner. It is a long pass. Kate Anderson will track it down, trying to get to the hoop. And it bounces around and off. Fowler, offensive rebound, reaching by Loetta. I mean, there were probably 3 or 4 fouls in that sequence on both sides, and they have stayed quiet with the whistles.
A lot of contact, but enough time for the Portland Pilots to get a stop here. They do not have to foul.
Even if they do foul, they only have 3 team fouls. Loetta, her shot is blocked by Fowler. Quickly to Andrews. Portland with numbers for the moment. Gorsman. Layup is no good with the left hand. Ball batted around. Fowler down to the floor, rather. She gets hit in the head, and they're going to call a foul on Jen Worth with 25 seconds to play. That'll put the freshman Fowler at the free throw line for 2.
On the collision, calling the foul. But take a look at the block from Fowler on the other end to prevent a layup. getting a piece, securing the ball. No bigger shots coming right now for the freshman.
First free throw is perfect. We are tied at 67. One more for Fowler. Got them both.
Clutch.
Timeout, Gonzaga.
Fowler has a tournament high 27 points in that third round game on Saturday, and now 22 to lead all scorers in the game. She is a freshman, 6'1" out of Australia.
The big three for Portland have been just that. The 22 that Kristen just mentioned from Fowler, a 9 of 15 shooting. She has 7 offensive rebounds, 7. Kate Anderson with 18 points, the senior. 3 assists, 2 steals as well, and Andrews with 14 points. Do the Pilots have enough to pull the first real shocker here at the West Coast Conference Tournament?
If you're Portland, you gotta defend without fouling. They do have 1 foul to give, though. You do not want to foul in the shot, so just 3 team fouls. Gonzaga needs to be smart, use up some of this clock, but when they get a good look, take it.
Inbounded to Lee Trong. She'll dribble towards the right corner, guarded by Gorsman. Back out to Loetta straight away, driving on Frawley. Flip pass inside, Worth missed the layup! Rebounded by Gorsman, and she's fouled with 12.3 to play. No, they're gonna call it a jump ball.
Favor of Gonzaga.
The Zags will get it back, and another opportunity. Oh, golden chance for Worth. Perfect pass and set play, and Worth just short-armed the layup.
Loetta does her job and kicks it right to her. Portland doesn't bail him out, and Gorsman, rather than just holding the ball and waiting for them to tie it up, ripped that ball away and put it on the floor. I know she didn't want to turn it over, but an easy tie-up.
And the Pilots do have a timeout left as well. So she had the option to call a timeout rather than get tied up. That's neither here nor there now. It is Gonzaga basketball.
I'm telling you, if I'm in that huddle, I think about fouling. If I'm Portland, you've got at least 1 foul to give. Not on the shot, let them take a little bit of time off, and then maybe you foul.
Here we go, 12.3 to play, inbounded to Kempton. Worth, off the glass and good this time, 8.6 to play. She went right at Fowler and scored on the left side. The Zags up by 1.
Go to their leader right now, and who's feeling it, who's hot, get the ball in her hands. Nice high-low look inside. Fowler, all she can do is go straight up because you do not want to foul on the shot. And Worth uses her body to go into her, drawing the contact, but scoring through it.
What a game. We saw an incredible, dramatic double overtime finish between St. Mary's and Pepperdine on the men's side late Saturday night.
We saw a double overtime win in that Santa Clara game, an overtime win for Santa Clara in San Francisco in the opening round, the 8-9 matchup. We've had some fantastic basketball over the last week.
Not done here. Portland with the timeout, able to advance the basketball across midcourt.
And that was crucial, saving that timeout till the end of the game to give them more time in the half-court set.
They go to Fowler straight away. They'll hand it back to Andrews with 7 and 6-5. Andrews through the defense, scores! Haley Andrews gives the Pilots a lead with 3 to play. Loetta across midcourt at the buzzer. No good! Down go the Zags. This is March. Haley Andrews. Portland stuns 11th ranked Gonzaga 70-69 and advance to the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship game tomorrow, where they await either San Diego or Pepperdine. The WCC will have 2 teams in the NCAA women's tournament this year. A bid will be stolen out west.
Look at this catch from Fowler. They knew where they wanted to go, and then Andrews. She's been so good at getting in the paint off the dribble. It's a little up and under. You got a 6'3" Worth flying at you, and the composure to go up and over with the floater. What a shot from Andrews. She finishes with 16 in the game.
The teardrop to put Portland through the championship game. Our Hercules Tires strong play of the game. Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com.
About that step through. Amazing composure, and she is a sophomore.
Look at this celebration. Haley Andrews is our Reveal Suits player of the game. She is with Jerem Jordan.
Haley, Portland is in the championship game for the first time since 1997. Walk me through the game-winning shot.
I mean, it's undescribable. You know, we've had that play in the back of our pockets for a while now, and I just shout out to my team that got us back into that game, and they just trusted me to take the shot.
Describe to me the moment when the final buzzer sounded.
I mean, it's just phenomenal. You know, we're picked 10, they're in the championship round. Like, what can you tell me? Like, it's my birthday, and I mean, what a celebration to have.
Well, happy birthday. The championship game, what will it take to come home with the title and an NCAA berth tomorrow night?
You know, this is a win. We got to move past it. Yeah, it's a big win, but we got to do scout, we got to train, and we got to get ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be another tough matchup.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Haley Andrews, player of the game, brought to you by Reveal Suits, the official business apparel partner of the West Coast Conference, where passion meets fashion. Visit www.revealsuits.com. You cannot make this stuff up. It is Portland, who trailed by 20, that comes back to make their first WCC tournament championship game in 23 years. They're picked to finish last. Haley just brought it up again, and here they are playing for a chance to get to the big dance.
It was in their hands to rewrite their story. They were down 20 in Spokane, but able to rewrite the pathway to the championship game for the Portland Pilots.
Incredible. For Kristen Kozlowski and Jerem Jordan and every member of our outstanding crew here at the Orleans Arena, I am Spencer Linton. Thank you for joining us. We'll send it up to Dave McCann and Blaine Fowler for our tournament update show, and see you back here for semifinal number 2 in just under 30 minutes.